Hey guys, hey, shout out to the Venture Replay Gang. Okay, so hey Lady Sparkles. I was just over at YouTube Cameras. We was having a great conversation, but unfortunately, when I'm on other panels, I can't control these birds, pigeons, trying to come next to me. So, of course, I like to come over to my page. Oh, excuse me. When I feel like there's a good discussion going. So, with that being said, hey, Barbara Warren sponsor. Pisces 88. So I'm gonna drop this link because this is gonna be an open panel because this is gonna be a good discussion. It should be nothing to argue about. We can you know our differences can be sorted out, but that's about it because we don't know none of these people and it's all personal, never it's all business, never personal. Miss Virginia, Pisces 88. How y'all doing, boo? So we were over there talking about there's a couple things, and I know they want to discuss the hey Jessica Boo. I know they want to discuss like the thing with Trump or whatever. We can get to that too, but this thing with Nicki and Cardi, I think a lot of people are missing the point because there's a lot of underlying issues going on here. So in this particular thing, I feel like yeah, first of all, Nicki to me, she's talented. Um she has her own she writes her own rhymes. She created her own brand. Hey, Miss Virginia, how you doing, boo?
Hey, beautiful. I just saw you live and just heard you say you were dropping a link and hit the link, not even knowing what the topic is. How you doing,
Well, you
uppity?
actually you hit it at a great point because we were over there and some people were like Pisa was over there. She had the confusion, right? Because we were because Nick both of them are married, right? But Cardi B, it came out. I know you older women. That's my hey sassy boo might be a little too crazy for you, but apparently not Nicki Minaj, Cardi B was having sex with another man while she was pregnant with her husband's baby. And after the birth, they got separated, and
Uh-huh.
now she's pregnant with her boyfriend's baby. And we were just discussing the laws of marriage. Is that if you are a man, right, you're automatically presumed in most states. Maybe some states are different, but I said in most states, if you're married and the baby comes, it's automatically assumed to be your husband's. And in some states,
Wow.
even if you prove not to be the dad, you still have to you would have to be legally obligated for that child unless the wife lets you out of it. Just like the other way around, if the woman is married to a man who has a baby outside of her marriage and the
Uh-huh.
man doesn't have any form of income, the side women can then come after the wife for child support if she's the breadwinner. Because at the end of the day, marriage is about a business. But most women have the common sense to marry up, not down. But unfortunately, in the black community, I feel like most women marry down. So that's why I don't know why black men be holding marriage over our head. That's just me though. Hey, Kalia Boo, Winter. So what do you think from your perspective? Do you think that's right?
Well, I'm from the old school and I'm from Texas. And at the end of the day, here in Texas, it's just a matter of taking the blood test. You follow married or unmarried. Like you said, if someone is married and have a baby, by another person, the guy to avoid paying child support for that child, he said, "That's not my baby. I was separated from her at the time. Let's take a DNA, and that settles it. That settles it." But in the Hollywood world, they do everything differently. Cardi B, I think she just loves children. She wants to have as many children as she can. She don't care who, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she finds love from her children when she can't find it, from the men. And I believe she'll have as many babies as her body will allow. That's just my opinion.
Oh, that's interesting what you said. When she can't find the love from the men, she find it from the children.
Oh yeah,
I think that's yeah.
your children
I can
gonna
see
love
that.
you. You feeding them, you
Oh yes,
clothing them,
it's nothing like the love of your child. I
you
yeah.
better know it.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, and I believe Jessica B, you're right. They both upgraded their husbands. But I was just saying typically, you know what I'm saying? And but that's what I'm saying. Cardi B, even though she's not a black woman, she only can get the low bottom tier. Like even though some of them may have money, but when you think about a value man, because you let these guys tell it, they got a felony and a manager job at McDonald's, they're high value if you let them tell it. That's just how they feel about themselves. But when we talk
But
about high
when
value
these
men,
men have their own agenda, when these men just feel like, I'm gonna hide, my real self because I have an agenda. You know what I mean? Maybe they're trying to make somebody jealous. Maybe they're just trying to get a write off. Maybe they're just trying to, when they have their own agenda and you're not aware of it and you get caught up in it, at the end of the day, it's your baby. And I mean, it's definitely your baby because you birthed it. So at the end of the day, you be like, okay, you know what? Another one bites the dust. I got a baby. And so what does she have? Three girls and a boy, or two girls? Did she get that boy yet?
ooh, yeah, I believe. I think it's three girls and a boy. Don't get me lying, but I know she just had. Yeah, but yeah, she do got two girls and one boy right now. She's pregnant with her boyfriend baby, but she's not divorced yet. So being that she's married, right, and state to state it varies. So basically, she said out her own mouth that he's holding up the marriage because he wants her to pay his back taxes
Uh huh.
and he wants the property that they own in Atlanta. Then he
Oh
will sign off on a divorce. That's what he wants. That's what I'm trying to explain. Marriage is a business. Whoever got the most money, because they keep trying to say he's not broke. Yes, he is. Because if he wasn't broke, he would pay his taxes. Because you can go to jail for that. Hey, just read my book. Hi, just wrote, just trolling. Yeah, two girls and one boy. Hey, so fly. So
yeah.
yeah, he's holding up the
Let me
reason.
tell you a little story when Cardi B was
Okay.
pregnant with her first child. I was following her on Instagram when she was pregnant with her first child. And I was responding to maybe a backup channel, and I didn't know it was not the Cardi B channel. It said Cardi B or whatever. So they were all discussing her baby because she was about to deliver any day now. So I made a comment there. I said, you're going to have your baby on my birthday, July the 10th. And she was like, how did you know? And I didn't. It was just the spirit that told me, but she knew she was having that baby on July the 10th. I don't know if the baby was taking his time coming here, but the doctor told her to come on in on July 10th. They was going to induce labor and have that baby. Sure enough, she had that baby on my birthday, July 10th, but it scared Cardi B. She was very, very sensitive. I mean, she was like, oh, this must be a witch. You know what I'm saying? And blocked me and everything.
I should believe you. And
She's like,
Jessica,
how did you
and
know
Jessica B
that?
said Calista, and Jessica B said Calista Shield blocked her because she called her mistress, but technically she's right. That's what she is. I don't know what's wrong with these celebrities.
Girl, they gotta do what they gotta do. I mean, they get all kinds of threats and all kinds of witchcraft things at them every day. And Cardi B has a loving family, and at the end of the day, her children will love her. She can afford them. She cannot afford these men that are trying to get her money and go with the other lady. And then this is
Right,
another thing in the Holly weird world. I mean, when you got these men that are secretly down low and bisexual and
right.
trying to, it's just like Lord have mercy. You follow me? So that's that on that.
Yeah, it seemed to be
There.
real accepting, but I knew something was weird with him because, like, to me, I know men they really don't care.
Uh-huh.
They like a hole is a hole to them. But I'm sorry, the fact that she was pregnant by somebody, that would have turned me off. As a man, I would like to think that I would be turned off that somebody's pregnant and not even with my child. And I'm just like, that's just nasty. It's nasty on both ends. So like, I'm
It's
not going to say
demonic.
she's a bad mother, but I just feel like I got to question you. Like, come on now. That's
That's what
disgusting.
I mean. It's the trend right now. These men, they all have children in various places. So I guess Carter B say, "What's good for the goose is good for the." They got children all over the place. Well, I can have children by you follow me, which is wrong, wrong, wrong. God bless the children, but this is the day
No,
and
I
time
ain't mad at
that
her having a baby outside of Offset. I'm just saying, like, why are you sleeping with other men while you pregnant? That's disgusting.
it
Like, if you're
is.
not pregnant with that, yeah, that's nasty.
Yeah, it is,
So-
and it's not healthy for the baby. And here in Texas, STD is
exactly.
It's to the rooftop, girl. HIV is up, gonorrhea, syphilis. I mean, who wants God? Who wants to even take a chance? But people take chances. Those Hollywood folks
Yeah,
got
and this
good
guy
doctors.
and the guy that she's with, not only is he taking booty from men, he has a rep,
Uh,
and like like he has a reputation of that, and he's sleeping with a bunch of different women trying to prove his sexuality. Like you opening your bed, like you want to get his get back, you just gotta wait those 9 months. You know what I'm saying? If you really love your kids, and you just like. And I'm speaking from experience. Like I was so mad at my son's father because I like he took the condom off without my permission. I broke up with him, and guess who was single and ain't talked to nobody for a whole goddamn year after the pregnancy. Like I just that's just disgusting. You know what I'm saying? But there's no way in the world I'm gonna subject my baby to that, especially in Hollywood,
yeah.
everybody's sleeping with everybody. It's just disgusting. And when you have and when you have anal sex, it doesn't matter if
Mm,
it's with a man or a woman. You have live cells around there. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
So and that goes with even like it's harder for gay women to catch STDs than it is for gay men. I mean, it's easier for gay men than it is for gay women for a reason, because you
Hmm.
going into something. So to do that while you're pregnant, I just question her mental stability and what she really put forward. So I think she do overall love them, but I just wonder what she loves more, the attention or what I'm saying.
And this is why, if you have young children, you need to teach them and show them that all this celebrity stuff that they're seeing is not the way. It is not the way. They'll be practicing this same thing because they idolize these celebrities, especially the young girls that, is liking, all of the dancing and the makeup and the whole idea of being a model, Instagram model or whatever, that this is not the way you do it. This is not how you're supposed to do it. Both male and female, teach your children, talk to them about, my mother talked to my brothers and us about sex and condoms and being careful because your little hormones be moving and jumping around at the age of 13, 14, 15 years old. And you will go as far to run away with a person just to have sex.
Yeah, but and people in the comments talking about Offset. I'm not putting Offset off the hook. I don't like Offset. I don't like see me. I don't care what your preference is because my preference is Jamaican men, right? But that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean just because I prefer Jamaican men, all American black men ain't shit. No, it's a case by case basis. I just happen to have more luck as far as love life and
Yeah.
financially stability partners goes because that's what's important to me. Some women don't care. They'll pay for everything. They just want you to be home. I care.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel comfortable with a man like that. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. If I gotta go to work and struggle and all this other stuff, guess what I'm gonna be? By my goddamn self. Because like you said, men can become another child in some forms. When it comes to women, there's a lot that come with me. I'm gonna just say with me. Like it's a lot I put into you. It's not I don't want a man that needs me financially. Because how are you a man? A man's first two jobs once he becomes a man, and that's part of manhood, you have to be able to protect and provide for yourself at the very least before you even go into other people. Now, if you want to go half, you go half, but I'm not dealing with no man that needs me to take care of him or go half and have to pour into him. No, 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 no. I just can't do it. And I don't want my son seeing me doing that. I don't want my daughter seeing me doing that because I'm breaking the cycle because I did grow up in old school ways where do as I say, not as I do. And I just see that that did not work. And you get better results of showing by example. That's just me.
Yeah, I do know some women that want a house husband. They do not want their man to work. They do want the man to stay at home. They said, I got this. I just need you to stay right here, keep this house clean, take care of these take care of these
Yeah,
children
that's
and
so
bond with.
nice that some women really want that. They don't want it no other way. And I
Uh-huh.
know some women genuinely want that. Just like I didn't believe that because when I was younger, and I used to think that some women without kids, like, oh, something wrong with them. But now that I got older, I see, and I got a friend like that. She genuinely don't want any kids. She doesn't
Yeah.
want it. She enjoys her travel. She
Yeah.
she don't want to be bothered. You know what I'm saying? Now, she barely comes to birthday parties. She'll send money here and there, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? For milestone birthdays, she show up. You know what I'm saying? But as far as kids, like, she doesn't want any at home. And I know for a fact
Right.
because I knew her for over like 2 decades at this point, and I know for a fact she's going out her way without being too medically invasive to make sure she don't have no kids. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, please.
And that's
I
what
got
she want.
two.
But
I got two children, a girl and a boy. They got together and told me, "Mom, we don't want kids. I hope you're okay with that." I'm like, I don't have a problem with it.
really, that would
Yes,
have
honey.
broke my heart. That would have broke my heart. Oh my God! I hope
That
my
would
kids don't do that to me. But go ahead.
they said, "I we saw you do it. We don't know how you do it, but we're not gonna do it." And like you said, they enjoy their home. They said it's too much work, it's too much sacrifice, it's too expensive, it's too much nerve wracking. But they got plenty of godchildren. Oh yes, honey, they both got plenty of friends, their children, baby, but they physically do not want
Yeah.
to. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that's my homegirl. Whenever she go, like, she's from New York, but we barely. I don't think she been in New York City at this point for like 6 years. But whenever
no,
she comes to New York City, like, she's my kid's godmother, so that's when they get to see her. It's rare, but she keep up
yeah.
with them on the phone and stuff. But yeah, but she stayed traveling. But I'm happy they get to know her because they get to see other parts of the world. And in case that's their thing, but I want some grandkids though. I'll be devastated. Like, at least I need one of them. I got three. One of y'all better give me a goddamn grandbaby. Shit.
Yeah, I wasn't upset because I know how much of a responsibility kids are, and I know, if you're the kind of person that, me, when the man decided to leave, I'm like, bye. But some people are heartbroken when they don't have that husband in the house or they don't have that wife in the house. It's like they don't want to do this alone. They don't want to be able to raise their child alone, so they just say, I don't want to go through the heartache, the headache, or so I respect, their wishes. I'm not saying that, hey, y'all are cheating me out of not being a grandmother at all. It's like, hey, it is what it is. I'm glad they made
Well,
that
you could just
decision.
consider Nala your adopted granddaughter. She loves you. But hey, Rainy, TNT show. But yeah, but that, you know what, that speaks to you as a mother though. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I think is important that more black household need is
Yeah.
communication and
Yes,
clarity.
ma'am.
And that's one good thing that's gonna, hey CEO, that's one good thing that came out this Cardi B and Nicki Minaj situation. Because I agree with Jessica, and I always say this, to me it feels like the majority of black women marry down. They have the career they had. Even if they do have a man at work, he's not usually as successful as them for whatever reason. But like, there's many other ways you can put it. I guess if it's okay with you, it's okay with you. But for black women that want to be, that want that type of household, they often got to look outside of that. And it's unfortunate because the men that make it in the society, they often don't choose us. But black women, they tend to stay down. And so we got two things with Nicki Minaj. Even though she's not really FBA, whatever the case may be, but she's still, she's just a black woman. Still, she's just from a dysphoria. Where you got Cardi B. So I think this is an important lesson especially when they come to hold a marriage over your head. Nicki Minaj, she had to, she the paymaster, but I feel like he may be disrespecting Nicki Minaj, but it's not as open as it is Cardi B disrespect was. You understand what I'm saying? Versus
Yeah.
Cardi
So
B,
how
who's
many
supposed to be the
children does
quote
Nikki
unquote.
have? How many does she
She just
have?
has one. She has one son.
Okay.
She just has one with her husband. But he's like a hood guy, and he has
Yeah.
a lot of issues coming with him too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Nicki Minaj, she's pretty. She actually writes her own rap. She has talent, whatever, right? But even being in industry and having access to those men, she still wasn't able to obtain one. And a lot of but you see these black men, they get the money no matter who. But if you notice, majority of them that have kids, only black kids they got was before the money. Once they got rich, every
Uh-huh.
kid was mixed, and then they coming back in that struggle. But and a lot of black women like to look at that, but like look at but see, these so quote unquote purposes don't get no better treatment. It's just that these black men with the money, these women can't be as loud as Cardi B because she's the one with the bag. And look how she was treated by both of these men.
Well,
You see what I'm
Michael
saying?
Jackson and his three kids, and Beyonce with his three kids, it's like It just all depends on preference, whether age is money, is relationships. I think people in Hollywood just know that their relationships are temporarily. It's very rare that they get married and stay married for a long, long time because their job causes them to travel and to move around, and it can get stressful, all of those things.
Yeah, I agree. It really can. So I'm so happy we got Miss Regina up here. Y'all, please make sure y'all like and subscribe. Miss Regina, can you type in the chat really quickly so one of my moms can pick your link? Miss Regina, not only is she a wealth of wisdom and life, she also hosts people
Yeah,
how to get monetized on YouTube. She helps you get monetized on YouTube. She shows
that's
you how to make your shorts. She does it all, and she also has a hair company, and she's a very good great support system. So y'all need to sign up for her little her YouTube classes. And it don't matter if you're in this country or not. She helps people all around the goddamn world. So it is what it is, and she has a lot of good connections, including with Uppity. Yeah, I've been on one of, and she knows some fun people from around the world. Shout out to Shangy. We sometime I'll come and invade y'all chat over there because she be sharing people out. I come pop up sometimes. So make sure y'all hit up Miss Virginia for some YouTube
thank you
courses
so much. And I'm going to
anytime,
drop
boo.
down, Uppy Diddy. This is a hot, hot topic, a good topic. I also want to say this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So, ladies, get your mammograms. I have a little story right here. I didn't get a mammogram for 30 years, Uppity. 30 years. My first one was at the age of 45. It was so painful. I said, I'll never do that again. But this year I said I made 70. I better go in there and I'm just gonna have to take the pain. So I'm gonna drop down so somebody else could come up. But yeah, this is a hot topic. I love what you're saying about these celebrities. You're speaking on the ones that are out of our category and in our category.
Right. And thank you so much for coming up, Miss Virginia. Anytime. Make sure you
Yes.
type in the comments so one of my moms can grab your
Okay.
link and share it.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah, this is the open panel. Anybody who wants to come up can feel free to. So yeah. So I just put like it's an underlying issue with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, and how Cardi B comes at black women. She can't come at Nicki Minaj because she actually has power and numbers behind her. So a lot of things that Cardi B likes to use for excuses when she talks down on black women, she can't use that with Nicki Minaj. You see what I'm saying? So instead she goes the victim route. Miss Virginia. Oh, maybe I'm gonna help her. Oh, she probably can't get down. Thank you, Miss Regina, for coming up. Yeah, but the industry, it's like I think black women need to realize that this because we should take a lesson out of this because we have a whole machine designed against us, and that's just my belief. As black women, but I always say that. There go Miss Regina. Can one of the mods please grab her link for me and share it for me? Y'all shout out to Miss Virginia. And if you guys need help with monetization, she's good at that. She has a whole class on it and a whole bunch of success stories. So y'all get into her. So shout out to Miss Regina because when she and that was a good statement she made. Cardi B is looking for love either from her children or the husband. And that's what I'm not saying she don't love her children, but I just can't get over her, having sex with somebody while she's pregnant. That was so disgusting. It was just nasty. And her hate for I feel like she has an underlying hate for black women, especially. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get it confused. Just because they sleep with black men doesn't necessarily mean they like black women. It don't mean that. It don't. And so this is a whole new example of that. But I do feel like as far as Nicki Minaj, it's hard to be on her team because she just so colorist. You know what I'm saying? She has said so many colorist statements. Um, she has leaned more into her like Caribbean, how you say, she like she seems to be more understanding than that, but she's more so dependent on black dollars and use that to floss in the Caribbean culture. It's not like the Caribbeans that are supporting her like the black women. I didn't see, well, I don't follow them enough, but from what I seen, Cardi B came into this whole space to pick at Nicki Minaj. It's like it can't be one of us. I mean, well, Nikki is. They do say that Nikki. Well, in the beginning, I didn't really mind because I felt like Cardi was giving Nikki the same energy that Nikki gave Little Kim. Because if you remember how Nikki came on the scene, she came in at Little Kim the same way. Because her and Cardi B was both playing that same role of, I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know why she mad. But meanwhile, continuously doing little shit. So, but at the end of the day, Cardi B can't write her own rhymes. And so, well, I guess Nikki had that over her, but Little Kim has some good ass writers, especially when Biggie was writing. Like there are certain things she hasn't, Nikki hasn't topped with Little Kim. There are certain songs that's just gonna be a staple. Whether it doesn't matter what type of lane you desire to roll in real life, everybody knows certain Little Kim songs by heart. Every damn word. So you see what I'm saying? It's levels to this, but I just don't appreciate people making excuses for Cardi's nasty behavior towards black women. You know, it's been a history. So I'm not mad at Cardi getting her karma because Cynthia G told y'all at the end of the day, you're still gonna get the same black man. And like I was saying, she can't get no high. It's not like she was getting no high profile man. She wasn't getting one. She wasn't getting no high profile man. Stephon Diggs, please come on now. Yeah, I hated the Nicki and Kim beef as well. But you know, if I had to choose a side, of course it's gonna be Little Kim. I love Little Kim, but unfortunately, it's not like we can't have like one. They always act like we gotta have just one person, and we don't. We can have several. You said my vote is for Cardi in terms of bars, but I don't know about these women character or how they carry themselves. Well, Nikki write her own raps. That's what I'm trying to say. The legends shouldn't be top. They are a league of their own. They shouldn't be. They should be admired. Exactly. That's what I agree. I agree. And Nikki wasn't really respecting that. She allowed the industry to let her come at Kim, and then it just came back to her at Cardi. But Cardi problem is she has never been on par with Nikki. Never. And I don't think that Nikki has been on par with Kim. It's just that Kim came from a different area and rap was phasing out. And Kim birthed them, to be honest. Kim birthed that style of rap. Her and Foxy and what you call it? It was a couple, even some women from like the South. But I'm from New York City, so I just know Kim and Foxy better. Like I like Trina, for instance, Trina too. But I mostly knew like Nan Nigga and like just like even then, like I even know that I only know that because when I used to go visit upstate at that time, when I used to go visit my cousin upstate, she used to really love Trina. But in New York City, especially at that time, it was a different time. Like these rappers today, you'll never see them in their hood. Where I grew up in New York City, you had to be able to go walk through your hood in order to be relevant. So there's a lot of interpersonal relationship with like a lot of these rappers from the era that I grew up with. Like I seen Cameron, I hung with Cameron, I seen Jim Jones. You know what I'm saying? I've seen, well, I never got to meet Method Man, but I met a couple of members of the Wu-Tang. I have a homegirl from Staten Island. So I met the Locks. I met DMX a couple of times. Never in Staten Island though. I already told y'all how DMX tried to talk to me. But even at 18 years old, like nigga, no. Cause everybody knew rappers wasn't getting money like that. Rappers, they didn't get some of the money. That's why rap should be used as an introductory to get your business thing on. But you're not really getting that much money as a rapper. That's why I don't know why people think Offset has money. He doesn't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't get a lot from the I don't follow really Nicki or Cardi like that, but I just know Cardi has said so many problematic shit, and she's so unapologetic about that. You know? And Nicki has said a lot of colorist shit, but if I had to pick a side, I would just have to pick Nicki based on a lot of different things. You know? Cardi B is not an Afro Latina. You know who's an Afro Latina? Juju. Amara La Negra. Cardi, did you see Cardi B parents? I should have took a picture of Cardi B parents. They're white Hispanics. White Hispanics. In every Spanish country, the darker you are, the worse they treat you. And I think Cardi B says she's Dominican. Do you know what Dominican Republic is doing to people? In Dominican Republic, they wouldn't even have a hope. They wouldn't even have their own place right now if it wasn't for Haitians. And look how they doing people of Haiti. If they don't pass the paper brown test, they trying to pretend like they Haitian and not even Dominican. And you never seen Cardi speaking out about that. And let's not forget when Aretha Franklin died, and they was doing tributes to Aretha Franklin. Cardi B came out trying to do a tribute to what the fuck Selena. Like, girl, that Selena died how long ago? Shut the fuck up. This is about the Queen of Soul. How dare you try to compare to Selena to fucking Aretha Franklin? Are you okay, bitch? Selena is like you compare Selena to Mary J. Blige, never Aretha Franklin. But this is the type of shit she does. So that has nothing to do with no Afro Latina. I'm aware of Afro Latinas. And there are some. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. There are some black men who may like see me. I prefer Caribbean men, but because I just prefer dark skinned men, even if I'm dating a Caribbean man, I'm not gonna go for some white Jamaican just because they recognize a Jamaican. I'm like, oh, he's Jamaican, so he's black. No, he's still a white Jamaican. You see what I'm saying? But as far as with these black guys, see, like Cameron, he loves black women from dysphoria. So every time y'all see Cameron dating somebody that's not a American black woman and they Spanish black women, Cameron only dates Afro Latinas. So if you're looking for Afro Latinas, look up all Cameron's girlfriends. I'm talking about the Killer Cam from Harlem, the guy, and now he got Toka Fleet. Look up all his girlfriends. He's been doing this since the beginning of time. He went from dating American black girls before he got money, and then now that he got money, he dates Afro Latinas. There's a difference between an Afro Latina and Cardi B only pretend to be black when she want to try to play in people's face about Offset colorist self-hating ass. And then the minute she's mad with him, she'll tell you she, she like dating out her racing because she back on the line again. And the minute she get another nigga, she gonna be talking about how she giving birth. Because I don't like that. You cannot. It's like somebody that's not black claiming to have black kids. You cannot push black women out the way. No, you need two black people to make a black baby, or else your baby is mixed. But in order to be mixed, there's three races. There's Asians, there's black, and there's white. If you're not one of those three, you're just a mutt. I'm sorry, you can't even call yourself biracial. Hey, Baron. You said Chinese, I say Asian. It might be Chinese, whatever. But I know there's only three races, and there's to me there's only one, right? Everything else stem for there. But as far as like we're gonna talk about medically science fact, even when you do your census, there's only three: black, white, and Asian. If you're not one of those three, you're not mixed. You're just a mutt. I'm sorry, not sorry. It's just the truth, and you can't be mad at nobody but your parents for that. But I'm so sick of black people saying that they have a black child and one of the parents ain't black. But you know, mostly black guys do that. I rarely see black women doing that. And I'm not just saying it because I'm a black woman. It's just the truth. Zoe Salanda is Afro Latina. I mean, yeah, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. Hey, you two cameras.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, I wanted to because y'all made me start to question myself about Cardi B and what she is. I remember I started like becoming familiar with her from that show Love and Hip Hop before she even blew up.
Same,
Okay, okay.
same. Yeah.
So I looked her up, right? Because I'm pretty sure, and I saw her hair. And why do I remember that? I remember like she concocted, I think it might have been during the pandemic or a while ago, her recipe, right? And I saw her hair. I was like, oh, wow. Like she has coarse hair. Okay. So then I looked her up. I remember she said that she was Dominican or Afro Latina. Okay. So I said, is she black? And it said yeah, she is black. There's a question whether like there's a question about her blackness, right? She identifies as black and Afro-Caribbean, okay, with both Dominican and Trinidadian heritage, which is rooted in African descent. So doesn't that give
Okay.
her that, hence why is Afro Latina?
No,
Black
no,
and
no, no.
Latina.
She probably has some black in her, but she's not Afro Latina because if you look at her parents, there's no Afro Latina there. You know what I'm saying? You look at her parents' hair texture, look at her parents' skin. But of course, you can carry things from your ancestors. That's not a part of your parent because black people, whether across the whole dysphoria, right? No matter where you are in the
Mm-hmm.
dysphoria, you could be two black people and make a really white baby. You know what I'm saying? In a DNA test will prove it's y'all. So I'm like I said, Spanish people are mutts, and I don't know a better way of saying it. I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this, but Spanish people, their history only go back but 1,500 years. They're basically a mixture of different colonizations moving around. They have no roots. They only could go back but so far. So that's why you get that. But if you actually see her parents, they're white. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. What is your
And their hair
test?
is really thin. Their hair is really thin and everything. Both of her parents.
Yeah, her mom is Trinidadian and her dad is Caribbean. Trini
Yeah,
could
but
be.
Trinidad they could be white too. There's white Jamaicans.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
white South Africa.
There's
Like think
white
about
South
South Africa.
Africans. Yep. There's white
Yeah,
South Africans. Yep, that's true.
a whole lot of them. Yeah, Italians exactly. Italians are not considered white either. You know what I'm saying? The real Hispanics are like in Colombia. Like Nala, first ABA teacher, she was Hispanic, but she was a white. She was a real that she was what when they say Hispanics, they don't mean Puerto Rican, Dominican. They mean like the Colombians, and they're basically white people that speak Spanish. Nala first ABA, and she used to show me like pictures of her country. Her mother, they all black. I mean, not black. I mean, they all white, hair, everything. But they're not. They're not. And real Spanish people got a problem with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't accept them. They don't. So they got like a lot of in-house wars. But like I said, black people need to stop accepting everybody because white people don't. That's why they call themselves Italians, Dominican, Puerto Rican. They have to make up a race for themselves, but they're not a race. They're just a nationality or ethnicity. But they're not black. They're not white. They're just mutts. And only thing you got to do is basically follow the DNA trail. They can't. After about 1,500 years, it stops.
You can tell that her look at her original features before she had all that surgery. Y'all are looking at
Right.
this woman that she does wear wigs, even though she has a hella long hair, like natural hair, but she protects it. That this is a classic example of like protective hairstyle. And when she did like that whole mayonnaise thing, that whole natural recipe of what she uses to grow her hair, you see. But look at her before and after what her features. You can tell that she has some black in her. I mean, yeah, she's not
And
100%
because black women start to love
mixed.
their hair, but you know what it is? Because more black women are getting to loving their hair using things like, well, you should, like, people, like, we've been doing this since the beginning of time, using mayonnaise, eggs, aloe vera plants,
Yeah,
coffee, cinnamon. We've been using things from the earth before all of this got turned around in our minds. So can you imagine how crazy that is? They take culture away just to try to sell it back to us. So
right.
now that black women are reclaiming their natural hair roots, a lot of these biracials, non-ambiguous people are trying to jump on the trend set and mess up our little girl's mind. Like, why my hair not coming out that? Like, that's not like they hair. Like, please, it's not the same. It's just not the same. So now we got now they even trying to like change the representation of natural hair. Like we can't have a moment to ourselves about nothing. Like this has been something we could have just bonded about across the dysphoria, but no, they want to push these biracial people to the forefront of anything we do. But it's like if people want to keep allowing it instead of making hard lines in the sand.
Yeah. So I wanted to like look that up because I know that has often been questioned. And as far as like the natural hair thing, she made it kind of popular when she finally revealed what her recipe is. And although she talked about it, but you would have to like follow her to be able to understand and see like the journey and watch her use it and all of that. Um but as far as like all the beefing and stuff, I didn't know that their beef had gotten that bad. I saw them like some of the stuff that were slinging at each other, the Cardi B versus the Nicki Minaj. But here's the thing. Nicki Minaj has been around longer than Cardi B. So Cardi B's thing is like, well, why are you comparing yourself to me or like myself, my album? You should be comparing yourself to people who were there at the time that you started, like the Rihanna and what some of these other pop singers, because
But
those
they
are the
don't rap.
numbers
They
and record
sing.
sales you should be comparing to, not me.
Yeah, but they don't rap, they sing. So that's two different audience. You see what I'm saying? Nobody
Yeah.
know, you know what I'm saying? It's two different like when you have a business, it's called a target audience. Not sometimes it'll cross support, but not most times. And at the end of the day, Cardi B came in here comparing herself to Nicki. She did that. She was literally put here as Nicki competition.
I
And now
think
she's mad because she's
maybe,
failed at it.
do you think maybe it started as idolizing or like, oh, I look up to her, this is I aspire to be like her, and then you know how it is, kind of like they do on YouTube, they pit the people against each other, they pit the women against each other, they pit the, because they saw, oh, wait a minute, she really has talent, let's, ooh, this person is her rival and all that. So it kind of started like that, but I don't think she first came out trying to compete or be like her, because this is somebody that's been in the game longer than her. Hey, keep
Yeah, and I
talking.
get what I get what you're saying, you two can, but my thing is this. I just feel like I would rather because I see what people saying Nikki is hey Foxtrot, Q possible babe Nicki Minaj, right? In my opinion she, she does say colorist things sometimes, and that's just an issue we got within our community, right? I'm
Right.
at the time of the bigger issue which is going on, which is them trying to constantly replace black women with others. That's my main argument, and it's
Yeah,
not like Cardi B holds any weight because to me she has not shown the black community any sign of allegiance, not one, and especially the women. And even at some point, she pretended like she was a black woman and that's like you're saying, like, okay, she's agreeing with these self-hating black men, like you could just get with any woman of any race and nationality and say you got a black child. No, you can't. No, you can't. You see what I'm saying? It's one thing to give honor to like all your kids' things without taking away from yourself. So Cardi B does not respect black women at all. And I think a lot of people need to get that through their head. Just because they like sleeping with black men, and most time is because the men in their own culture would never accept them. If you ever notice the type of songs Cardi B does for her culture and her community, it's never what she sells to black girls. She be on some whole
that's
other shit
true.
when it's trying to do the mix songs. Like when she doing Spanish song,
Or the
it's
Spanish
nothing like
songs.
what she
Yeah.
does. Yeah,
Yep.
it's a whole
Totally,
different
totally
image.
different. Because I mean, I think, don't you think that it has to do with the culture, the Spanish culture, and those songs that she does in Spanish is totally different. She caters to that culture. She caters to what she knows what that culture is, and what you're
Right. There
there
you
supposed to
go.
embody.
There you go. It's that's what I'm trying to
It's
say.
different.
Yeah, yeah, and I never said Nicki Minaj was. I said that Nicki Minaj is a colorist, and at the end of the day, though, even if she want to claim like the West Indian part, they root is in blackness. What
Yeah, that
meanwhile,
too.
Cardi main roots are in whiteness. You know what I'm saying? So it's only
Mm-hmm.
so far she knows she could take it because like there's like a whole when you raising your kids, and this is not something that started with Cardi B family. This came from generations on generations on generations.
Yeah,
So every culture and ethnicity have their own thing they raise their people within. So at the end of the day, um, Nicki Minaj is only going to go so far, and I'm not going to sit here and like I said, like if we want to get down to it, when it's some in-house fighting, oh yeah, I got some words for Nicki. But as far as her and Cardi, I'm going to be Team Nicki on this. Hey,
I'm
Demon
Team
Soul.
Nikki. Let me tell you why. Because one, I feel like she's been in the game. I'm not saying I don't like Cardi, but I say that I see it as one of those things. I knew when she came in the game, Cardi, that is, and yes, it's different, and it's okay for her to look up to Nikki. Nikki had to look up to somebody herself, so we get that. But is pitting them against each other and comparison, it's just the audience, you might share some audience, and is she came after her, long after her, but both of them have said horrible things about black community. Both of them have said, kind of like stuff to that's disrespectful to the black culture or to black women. That's not, that's not hidden. But yeah, I understand. I understand, like that, people arguing on both sides. But listen, I didn't know that their beef had gotten this nasty. I wasn't like kind of like following the whole
Huh.
thing until you guys started talking about it. And sure enough, I looked, I was like, well, damn, talking about
Yeah, yeah, it happened on
they
Twitter
got low down
apparently.
and dirty.
Yes, about yeah, they went to the kids, but like a lot
Yeah.
of people are just they're speculate. Hey, Uncle Claude, and a lot of people are speculating that Nicki Minaj's son has autism based on what they've seen. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's actually heard anything. But there are just certain traits that because autism is thank God. Even though people in the B sector act like you don't know it, but even I know, like when Nala acts out certain times, that's how people were like, "Is she autistic?" I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "Okay." So more knowledge is being able to spread, so people can see
Yeah.
when your kid do certain things, they can tell what it's triggering from. So that's why Cardi B just assumed that her son can't talk, but she doesn't really know that because I will say is communication will be slower when they're the only child. Like Nala, until Nala got to be around other kids on a more consistent basis, her speech was slower versus my son. He was talking good by the age of 2 or 3. By three, they took speech. I mean, not by three. I'm sorry. By 5 years old, they took him out of
Mm-hmm.
speech, and he was only in regular school for like at 2 years at that point. But because he grew up with his sister, his speech was on point. He needed help in other areas, but as far as his speech. So being that Nicki Minaj has only one child, but then again, she has way more money than I do. So of course, she probably couldn't afford like different like speech therapy and therapists and stuff like that. So we don't know exactly where her son is at on the level. But because the world can be cruel and stuff like that, I can see why she wouldn't necessarily want to share that with anybody. But for Cardi B to just go with it on assumption, you can't be mad at her because, and the reason why she probably said that, because a lot of people feel like just because they mix, they the most beautiful. And it's weird. Not to
Well,
say they ain't no pretty mixed, but us black women ain't no shame in our game either. What the hell?
Well, I think look at what happens even on this app. They use all kinds of stuff to throw shade and to drag people when they're beefing. I think it's the same thing, right? They reach out, they reach for whatever they can reach if it's the kids. And now you see why the real celebrities, these are the people that are the real celebrities. A lot of them don't like to disclose stuff about their kids, and this is the reason why maybe she's a little more private as far as like what's happening. But because people don't see too much of uh communicative sort of interaction or whatever, there's a lot of assumptions. But she's never really talked about it, so do we really know if he is or isn't autistic? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. Only thing we can do is speculate, but nobody really
Right.
knows because she's never came out about it. And then some people feel like me personally, I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? But I understand some people know some people are going to focus on the stigma, especially because of how her attitude is and stuff like that. People are going to see is like, oh, I'm gonna get her back via going through her son. That's unfortunate.
Hmm.
So that's probably what she protected herself from. I won't say she's ashamed of him, but
Beyonce does
Cardi,
the same.
yeah,
Remember?
right, exactly. Yes, she
Okay.
does. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, Beyonce does the same. Exactly. That's why she don't put her kid out there, and she don't even let y'all, because she probably seen what happened with Nicki's son. She's like, I ain't gonna let y'all see my son, because if y'all remember when autism first started, it was more prevalent in the boys than girls. That's why I feel like it may be something through those shots they get at kids, because now it's even affecting the girls as well. But initially, it always affected the boys. So yeah, and it's coming up more common. So yeah, that's probably why Beyonce is hiding her son. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah, but they never heard
speculated
him
about the
speak. They can't
twins.
say yeah.
Remember, they
Yep.
speculated there was one incident where I think they saw them pictured either an ambulance something at a hospital, right? And people started to speculate there's a reason why she's not showing one of the twins. They started
Yeah, the
speculating all
boy
kinds of
twin, the
stuff.
boy twin. Yeah, she
Yeah.
just showed room. Yeah.
Yep.
Now that could be two things. Now Beyonce's son could have autism, or he could just like some kids. You can't help who you born to. Some kids
Right.
normally don't want to be in the spotlight, and a good mother would
They're
respect that.
shy or
You wouldn't just
something.
put
Right.
your you wouldn't put your kid out there. Oh God, let me just.
Yeah, there's just, I mean, there's just a lot. And I guess, it go that's one of the things, kind of like when people are beefing on here, they take whatever they can, true or not. They see, like, kids are not used to, remember, you have to, these celebrities, they have to train their kids from when they're small, like talk to them to where
Right.
they're able to understand, to get used to paparazzi following them around and all that stuff. Remember Blue
Exactly.
Ivy? Didn't some YouTubers, I'm not saying no names, they dragged Blue Ivy when it was just Blue
Her
Ivy,
hair,
remember?
come on, she was ugly. Her hair was messy,
Yeah,
and
called
look,
her all kinds
her
of
hair like
names.
y'all gotta pay for the inches, and she's beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of self hate within our own community, and I noticed that
Yep.
a lot of these people that did not mix it, and a lot of celebrities that didn't mix their kids, those kids by our own people are often looked down on. And then y'all get, and then, but in the same token, I don't be getting it. It's like our community, they want to look down on the kids that are not mixed and judge them every nitpick. But then turn around and praise the mixed kids of the community, trying to make them black. And at the same breath, want to talk about how black men don't keep dating out their race. Well, why y'all keep praising it for?
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is what we're seeing. I think a lot of the stuff going on between those two ladies is a matter of beef. And I mean, I guess their audience, their fans are all in it, fighting and all that. So that's to be
Yeah,
expected.
it is. That's what I said. Like it's up to the celebrity how they want to. Like they know what their kid is most comfortable with or what their kids can handle. I just hope nobody's putting their kids out there if their kids don't really want it. So y'all don't know why people kids ain't on the socialite. Some kids don't want to be because you don't. If somebody's celebrity, they have to put up with certain things, but I don't feel like their kid has to. You know what I'm saying? And I don't. And I
Yep.
would hope
Yep.
that
Uncle
anybody
Buck.
that is, yeah, you should not put your kids out there if they don't like it, if they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to like give that input, but I'll be in the chat. Okay. Thanks for having me
Thank
up.
you, YouTube cameras, for coming up. Yeah.
No problem.
So yeah. So like I said, that was YouTube camera. Y'all make sure y'all check her out as well. That's where this conversation stemmed from. And now me, as far as like to close it out, as because I gotta run to the store before Nala gets back. As far as this government shutdowns coming, I feel like it's they say this every time Trump is in office, it's gonna be this big thing, a big this and big that. I think that people need to educate themselves that there's three branches of government, and at this particular point in time, um, I believe the Republicans control most of the houses. You know what I'm saying? So if they wanted to do something, it would already have been done. So I would not be having fear mongering politics, bother me. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, the best thing you can do is not be entrusting of any government. You know what I'm saying? Because where I felt most unsafe was when Obama was in office. Now, don't get me wrong, I was really with the hype when he first came in. I was so excited. But the more I turned around, I'm like, well, uppity, you're not gay, so this is not about to benefit you. And I'm not mad to gay people because I'm pretty sure they feel like they never had a president in office, working out for their best interests. So everybody gets a turn. But I just don't necessarily feel like I'm not because of Trump. So I just feel like people should do their research before, because they count on a particular groups in politics not to do research and just go based off what they say. And and this is a time for people who are actually broke and projecting to come out here inciting their worries on you. So you just think back to what you got going on. You keep doing what you got to do. Nah, Cardi B ain't black. I'm sorry. I ain't going with that one. Afro Latina is Juju with her beautiful self. And Amara Legra. Somebody said Zoe Zalander. Oh, but check this out. Y'all know Charlize Theron says she's African. Okay, Charlize Theron, she's listed as an African. So that anyway, people tell you anything, when they want to invade your space. But it's up to you to use your common sense, just like it comes to with politics. You know what I'm saying? And Trump is a very petty person. You know, Trump had a whole lot of issues with the federal government, so he's gonna be doing a whole lot of shit or trying to impose a whole lot of shit. This ain't nothing but some rich people fighting. We need to mind our goddamn business. And that's why you should not be a slave for no motherfucking company. You supposed to go with what's in your best interest, especially in the working field. African is a necessity, just like Elon Musk. African because he's from South Africa. I mean, yeah, I guess. But but African is a race though. If you want to be technical, um, it's African. I call it black, white, and Asian. But we all stem from black people. And the reason I say that because they did find bones 2 layers underneath the earth. They was like years older than the ones found in Africa. They were found in New Mexico with the same um, bones that you find in Africa. Remember how they say the oldest bones on earth was found in Africa? They found them same bones, same hunting tools, 2 layers under the earth in New Mexico. And you know what's crazy? They unalived the female scientist that found it. First, they excommunicated her because she put the truth out there. So trust and believe that if you really want to know the truth, you're gonna have to dig for it because they hate when people tell the truth. There used to be a lot of videos on YouTube covering this. They cited sources. They had videos, books, everything, and YouTube took them channels away years ago. So it's unfortunate for people that's like too lazy to research. But this is actually a thing. This is actually a thing. But yeah, I feel like people like Cardi and Nikki wouldn't count. And if Nick, in my opinion, if Nikki was smart, she would get with all of those black women. Because at one point, I will say that Nikki, and I don't know if this is mostly, I can't say it's a race thing, but if it's a selfish thing, you know what I'm saying? She wanted to, because at one time, because people said, when Cardi said, why she comparing herself to her? There was nobody to compare to Nikki. When Nikki was rapping, it really was like she was her only competition. If we're gonna be honest, I mean, other people came and left, but ain't nobody wasn't really, for whatever reason, ain't nobody wasn't really making it. So Nikki's fair to, I guess, compare herself, especially when Cardi initially, you made her your back, you made her your measuring stick, and you failed. That's the only thing I'm saying. But if Nikki was smart, she would get back with those black women and fix her face card because Nikki does have a reputation of not really being a girl's girl, or if she is, it comes with a lot of strings. So if Nikki was smart, she would fix. If they all were smart, this is the time for y'all to band together and show some type of um front for black womanhood, sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj, this is your time to reach down to somebody that's not kissing your ass but got some good talent and pull them up. Let them open up for you. Share they little song out. This is the time for you to do that. That's how you shut people like them down. Because at the end of the day, Cardi B is going to stick with her real people, which is white Hispanics who don't give a fuck about black people. And I think more black women need to get that. Like, we was already so sisterhood once and we just get used for that shit, right? So black women, we don't really have no friends or allies. So we need to take particular care to the ones that do show love. That's just my opinion. You see what I'm saying? I know you to camera, but she can do things like, I feel like there's a way around stuff. She found the way to protect her brother and marry that other one. You know what I'm saying? So she can find a way she wants to. Nikki is a smart girl. But it will definitely help in this fight because at the end of the day, other people are going to stick together. We're the only ones that don't. So at the end of the day, she just would find more, I guess, well, even because I see her try to put on like Caribbean singers, but like that works in that field, but not all black people are into Caribbean music. So there's no there with that. She's not going to get what I guess what she's looking for. You're going to get the adoration of the Caribbean people, but at the end of the day, they're not the ones buying your records, you know? Yeah, don't get me started on Egyptian and the Arab shit. That was like an imaginary man-made line in the world that people follow through. Like I said, it's all about colonization, and people choose to let that hinder them. In my opinion, that's why I take things on a case by case basis. But I just find out if like if I have a guy friend, it's cool because if they're your friend, they just gonna be your friend. It don't come with the extras, but it's like sometimes with women, but it's harder to make male friends. That's just that they're not trying to do, hold something over your head. But I just find it easy. Well, maybe I can't say that because I got my friends from like since the belly. I would say it's hard for me to make new friends because of all the indoctrination these women have in their head, and they're not recognizing their star power. Do I have to pay Alexis K. Tyler again for you guys? But yeah, it's been an hour. I want to run to the store real quick because I still ain't buy the hangers for my other clothes. I'm gonna go do that before Nala gets home. So that gives me enough time to run to the 99-cent store and come back. But thank you guys for coming through. Thank everybody that hit the link, Miss Regina, YouTube camera. I really appreciate you guys. And yeah, this was a great live. Thank you guys for coming, stopping through. Don't forget to like this video. Share this out if you can. Hey, Uncle Claude, happy belated birthday. Yeah, so yeah, I agree about that Pisces 88. That's what I was saying. Nicki Minaj, that's when the gatekeeping thing. Nicki Minaj should clean her face about that gatekeeping shit. And this is her time to reach down for somebody that has talent and not kissing her ass. Because it's one thing to say you helping people, but you only helping people that kiss your ass. No, I need you to reach for somebody with talent. You ain't gotta pick nobody that's disrespectful towards you, but they may not always be on your side, but at least you know what I'm saying? They not out here just trying to dog walk you. They just giving their opinion, and you could tell the difference. So I do agree that Nicki Minaj does need to work on that. But in the meantime, we need to start where we can. Start where we can. Because the way Cardi B be doing her people, she don't do us like that. So, and she needs our dollars. You know what I'm saying? She's still going to show her people respect, and that's not her main. That's Spanish people is not Cardi B targeted audience. She go over there so she can keep using her Spanish card. That's why she do them Spanish songs. But you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys around this YouTube street. Chef kisses. Mwah. Anytime, Winter. Thank you for the idea, boo. Later, you guys.